Hi everybody, welcome back to the Always Smiling Faces podcast. I'm not even sure if you'll be able to hear what I'm saying right now because we've had a right carry on with the microphones.
We've been here since 4, I think.
But I am joined by Mark Walker.
Hello.
You'll hear him fine.
Good evening.
And Deka's here as well.
Hello.
Brought to you by
Guillermo Clothing and GEORDIE Gifts. Not Deka. He's not brought by them.
No. He's brought by Funny and Ed by the looks of
The
it.
podcast is Bestie's not here tonight. Bestie's taking the night off.
Yeah, he's gone.
I thought it was something different.
He's got family chores to do.
Just thought he'd been on a diet.
He's been away, hasn't he, the day?
He's been away, aye. Yeah. Not sure where he's been, but
Wales.
He's not here. Wales. We're just
Wales.
Every time someone's not here, we're going to say then Wales.
No, he was in Chester, I think. Actually, that's technically Wales, isn't it? No.
Don't know. He just tucks himself
North
in Weatherby Services every time he goes.
That's because he loves his sausage roll and pasty from Greg's.
No, you seen the one outside? It's expensive at that one.
Oh, the little
some crust.
like.
Oh, hang on, mate. Is this the one? Right. Let's tell the story. Right. This is the one on the way down to Sheffield.
There is a Greg's van outside as well.
No. It's a unit. It's like a unit outside. It's called.
The van outside is the golden
What's it called?
crust or something. Crust.
Upper crust.
Upper crust.
Upper crust.
That's it.
So we're walking out of Sheffield. Out the services.
Oh, hold on. I'm confusing me Weatherby with me Scotch corners here.
So no one goes to Scotch Corner. So Weatherby services will come out. Most expensive thing ever. £8 a sausage roll. I was like, no, mate, you're taking the piss. No, £8 a sausage roll. Go and have a look. It was like £2 or something.
Well, the pasties were about $5.40.
Was it the real Cornish pasty company?
No, it was
They're
upper crust.
about £4 for a pasty.
Was it upper crust?
It was upper crust, yeah.
Is it definitely upper crust?
Upper crust, yeah.
Why this podcast it always goes on to food?
Because it's the best thing in the world.
It is.
It is the best thing in the world.
It is. So what? Well, actually, you had to talk about the game.
I'd rather talk about food than
Against
football, to be
Wolverhampton.
fair.
Can do if you want.
Would you like to talk about food a little bit
Wolverhampton,
more?
are they getting the full Sunday name?
Wolverhampton.
Wolverhampton Wanderers FC.
So I spent a lot of time in Wolverhampton.
Look at you.
What, on Saturday or on live?
In life.
Okay.
Generally speaking.
In life. So in my previous life.
Frequent listeners to the podcast in seasons gone
sometimes
by.
more last watches this. Ex-girlfriend.
See.
Went to university in Wolverhampton. And the best way to describe that place
When he says girlfriend.
is if you went home, pulled your oven off the wall, looked down the back, the shit that's down the back of your oven, that's Wolverhampton.
I see, right?
Not a lovely place, to
I
be
went,
honest.
do you know when Gutierrez scored and then my bar scored? Gutierrez goal was mint. I went then, that's the only time I've been.
How many had he scored since Ramadan?
I think, it was West Brom was sang for ages. I think about maybe 11. I can't remember. Some daft like that it was. But the funny thing I remember about that...
Bestie would know the answer to that.
Was we're standing there, it was me and my mate Mick, I think it was Dean, no, I don't know what it was. And this Chava just turned up and just went, I'm standing here like lads. I went, alright. Then I looked again and he had the best lass.
Oh, I think you've said this story before. Aye.
Ever, right? And I went, you can stand here all game. So I was chatting with her for a bit. I was still married at the time, but I wouldn't Dean now.
At the time, what? Something happened?
Well, something happened.
Unfortunately, in the space of a week, Deka's been divorced.
So
anyway,
Shit.
I'm not watching this one.
I hope not. So anyway, this lass was here and we were cracking on and she was just unbelievable. She had like little top on, belly out and everything, and I was like thinking to me, how the fucking hell has this idiot pulled there? So anyway, time was going on. Second half kicked off, they were gone. Oh no, they're not here. Then about halfway through the second half, he come back and he had his arm on his shoulder. He went, we've just been down there and caused some trouble. All right, neighbour, mate.
What, him and his lass would cause some trouble?
That's what he said.
Dropping elbows in there.
Then, next thing I know, there was like, there's a hand on your shoulder. The exit was just gone like that. Turned around, this copper had him in the, the exit area of the stand. I keep forgetting the name of it.
Like where you go into the concourse.
Aye, that's the, aye. Had him pinned against the wall, took his helmet off, his copper helmet, put it into his hand like that and just started caving his head in.
Really?
With the helmet like that. She then grabbed me and went, will you help him? I went, no, it's alright. And I went, so what are you doing now? And that was that was my trip to Wales. It was great. His face was unrecognisable.
I'm not surprised.
He took his hat off. I said, what's your name with that? Hand in the hat. Here we're going. Bang. Just started, the point at the top. Started bang. It was amazing. Brilliant.
Jesus Christ.
So what the hell he had done down there, I don't know. But so that was
What a way to start this podcast. So we've had expensive pasties,
lack of marriages,
sausage rolls.
Deka's divorced.
Deka's divorced. He's not wearing his ring. God knows what's happened here.
It's just hanging on the shower. So.
Hanging on the shower?
Who shower?
his new lads.
When I have a shower, I take it off and I put it on this thing, and sometimes I just forget to pick it back up.
Why do you take your ring off when you're having a shower?
Because it's got loads of diamonds in, and one time I went in the shower, one of them fell out. It cost us a fucking fortune to get it put back in.
It's alright, can you?
So, yeah, just in here. What, right?
Diamonds are
So
forever.
back to Wolves.
He's changing the subject now.
No, hey, we'll keep trying if you want to.
So now we'll go on to the Wolves game.
Yeah, that's the one here. That's not half the story.
No, I'm not sure you know,
There's
mate.
a few lineup changes.
Okay,
because
let's talk through the lineup.
We had a bit of a crisis at right back, didn't we?
Yeah.
Deka was in the right hoof before the game, wasn't he? Because
you
people
were,
couldn't
Tommy.
understand
I
the
was
formation.
furious. I'm not going to lie, I was furious.
It was pretty obvious the way we were going to line up,
Of
wasn't
course it was obvious.
Because Polton was definitely going to play right back.
Well, anyway. So, just what I have to say this, right? So, I went on Twitter only to find the lineup.
Oh, got a shiver there.
Did you?
It's because he's not meant to be on Twitter.
I'm not meant to be on there, I know, because I said
Yeah, so
Because his
Dega's
wife's on
having
there.
a Twitter sabbatical, right? He's not using it.
Bit like
he's
his
used
marriage.
it more than he's ever used it before. It's just the podcast account. Every 2 seconds, my phone's like retweet, like, and I'm getting. I haven't put anything on the podcast. Dega's clearly been on it again.
Well, yeah, so when I went on and I seen the lineup, I was like, oh, right, great, this is what it is in my head straight away. And then I seen, like, sort of Mark Douglas, who I think is very good, actually, was like, what on earth is this team going to look like? What's the formation going to look like? And then everyone's kicking off going, what on earth is this lineup? What on earth is this formation? Are you thick?
Sorry, Mark.
Like, come on, it was obvious what the team was
Just
going
like
to
to point out, Deka doesn't speak for everyone on the podcast, Mark.
No, I like Mark. I think he's the best one of the lot. But it's just like, come on, it wasn't rocket science. Dummett wasn't up front and Joe in goal. Like, it was pretty
think
obvious.
Well, there was a few people that actually wanted that.
Well, yeah, but...
What fooled a lot of people was the club's tweet that put it in numerical order, didn't it? Like,
well,
that was it,
downwards,
wasn't
people
it?
went, what is going on?
Even the
what I
club
think
don't know
happened.
that the order that they're playing in.
I think that's what... I think
But the
people
two
read that
long
and
steps
went,
up top.
Ah, so they were up front today. That's how people are just so deranged. Like, everyone also is a fitness expert now on Twitter. You notice that?
Yeah, I've noticed
Hey,
that, yeah.
I've never seen anyone massage a fucking hamstring like Twitter can at the minute. Jeez,
tell you what.
Lord.
If anybody want to pops around and have a
I'm
rub
not
on my
being
left
funny.
hammy, it's a bit tight, I'm telling you.
No one wants to rub your hammy, mate.
Hey, I'm not being funny. It's hilarious. So when Brexit's on the go, everyone's a politician. Now everyone's a fucking hamstring expert and knows how to do training and physios. Hey, piss off, please, man.
Hamstring.
How man? How?
I think if it was a soft tissue injury.
Well, it's just embarrassing in my opinion. To be honest, embarrassing. Sorry. Anyway, we'll.
He's gone early tonight, hasn't he?
Aye, so
I don't
you,
know how this happens. I'm really confident before we start.
I know.
But that really, and that's why I used the podcast account to go. I didn't try to be arsey, but I think this is going to be it, and then put the team on. It was so easy to understand.
especially when we're saying Hayden drop in at that position before.
Yeah.
Well, I know where did the thing is going
It
to
was
be?
the dummet at right back that just got me.
That was a funny one.
How
wasn't
were
it?
you?
Who thought Dummett was going right back?
Loads of people.
Well, there was a lad did comment on the thing going, oh, actually, I think it might be Dummett right back and something else. I literally had to go and high up.
Imagine Dummett at right back. Imagine braying that ball with his left foot all the time. You know where he began? Just out.
Well, he can't
It began a bit like Lejeune.
He's not exactly the best on his good side. Jesus, on the
No,
other
I
side.
just had an image of he's on the right, just still playing with his left, just booting it straight out.
Yeah, probably true.
So
But,
while the two young long staffs in the middle again,
yeah,
The long brothers.
the long brothers, okay, the long staff brothers. Sean struggled quite a bit this season, hasn't he? To be honest.
Well,
I think
he hasn't hit the dizzy heights that he did last season, has he?
I think he struggled with the injury. Like, I think that injury.
Do you think he still hasn't fully recovered from it, or would you use that as an excuse?
I can't remember who I was speaking to, but somebody had said that
Wouldn't have been your wife.
the injury that the injury that he got, the knee injury, is a real bad one. Like, it's a real bad one to come back from, and I think you're seeing that now. Like, I think I'm not saying that he's playing really poorly. He's not terrible. It's not like the Man United game where he's passing the ball away to the opposition and stuff like that.
I thought in glimpses he actually looked pretty good. I think it was probably one of his better games since coming back.
I feel like he's lost a yard of. He's never been the quickest in the world, but I think
Is
he looks
that
even
down to
slower.
confidence, just down to worry in case it's a recurring injury, in case he does it again, or...
Oh, I don't. He'd have to
Saying
ask
that, like,
him.
he went in that tackle the other week. He didn't give two flying fucks about it, did he?
The one thing that he did is he kept the ball moving quite well from side to side. There's a lot of times he got the ball out with his feet out wide, just kept it moving a bit. I'm the more and more I see Matty, I'm impressed with Matty.
Yeah.
I think it'd be because of his engine as well. He really works hard. He's comfortable on the ball, doesn't shy away from the ball. I like Matty a lot. I really do. He's a good
Yeah,
player.
I like
we need to get him signed up and sorted, like, to be honest, in my opinion.
It's a strange one with Matty. I think there might be a question later on the question and answer, and we've got the whole contract situation with both Longstaff, not just one of them, both of them at the minute.
Well, Matty's out of contract at the end of the season. Sean's got another...
But Sean just signed one before he broke through to the senior team, so obviously he's got an argument there to say that, hang on a second, I signed this contract before. Fair change.
We'll see. I think you never say never with this club, but I think they would be keen to sort it out.
But they don't seem overly keen, mate.
No, well, like obviously there's nothing being kind of forthcoming with conversations and stuff like that, but there's obviously got to be negotiations going on in the background and all of that kind of thing, and there'll have been...
I think Lascelles is a bit more
assurances given and stuff.
I can't remember Lascelles openly being in contract talks, and then that seemed to happen. Like it
well,
just happened. Like
when did Lascelles extend his? Did he extend it with someone else? Was it two of them? Like
2 years ago.
In the space of a day of each other?
I thought it was last year he did his. And that's why all of a sudden he was getting asked about how much money he had. Remember he was getting the bus home, was it less hour away?
I bet it.
And they were like saying how much he got paid, because it had just kind of came out in the media then that he was getting 40 or 50 grand a week.
Someone trying to get Lascelles to pay for the taxi home.
Yeah, and he was like, you're on 40 grand a week or 50 grand a week, whatever it was.
He's going to haven't got me wallet.
Christ.
Honestly, man.
But this is where, I know every fan's got them, but it's embarrassing, man. It's embarrassing.
Every fan's got one. We've got one.
But, well, I know there is a lot of... You see, we're very fond of slagging every fan off. Villa fans have got arseholes, Leicester fans have got happy clappers. We're asking fucking people for taxi money, man. Come on.
One person.
Come on.
One person.
Yeah, I know. The other one punched the horse. So we're not, we're not all amazing. Like. Anyway, sorry. Back to the lineup. I wasn't too bothered the two long staffs were in. I was pleased Almiron was playing the way he's been playing his best form, which I think Bruce deserves a lot of credit for, from fucking having him out wide. He's moved him more central, I'd say. And all of his goals are coming from centre positions. His 3 goals he scored all inside the box, nearly, you would say.
That's what we've been saying all season, wasn't it? Even when the Saint was in there, get them narrow in alongside Joe Linton.
And then up front you had Gale and Joe, obviously.
Joe.
Yeah. Which is, I mean, Gale was a surprise, I'll be honest, but it's fine.
I didn't think he would... Well, I don't know, because obviously he didn't play the cup game last weekend.
Then he missed that sitter the last time he had his chance.
So you think, well, is he looking at him to ship him out in the window? But then all the comments and stuff that he's came out with, that he wanted to keep a hold of him. So
I think I've been critical of Gale for the chances that he's missed, but then I was kind of like in my head thinking, he hasn't played much football, has he? Like
not this season.
He's been out a lot of time, and I think you've given him. We're slating him for two chances that he's had in games, and maybe we were a bit harsh. Well, I say a bit harsh. I think if you ask Gale tomorrow, do you think he should have scored that one? He probably absolutely.
Yeah,
like, even he would expect to score them. But I just think sometimes when you haven't played as much, your sharpness is not there. You're just not on it, are you? Do you know what I mean? So perhaps that's why. But I was pleased that. See, I quite like the idea of having 3. I think I've said it times before. Is that 3 in midfield? You're hoping you'll be able to keep hold of the ball a bit longer. And I think having someone up front with Joe, I think it'll help as well.
Yeah.
I think anyway.
But I think the thing is we don't play to keep a hold of the ball. We're quite happy to let the opposition have it and let them play with it and try and come and break it down. So the only thing that gets to me when we do that is I just don't see we're pressing enough.
I totally agree. Yeah,
saying that though, but straight in our goal came from us pressing to get the ball. Yeah. So it comes from Gale trying to close it down.
To be fair, even before that, Miggy had a good chance.
Yeah. Again, we pressed early, won the ball back. Something I used to credit the Army for a lot was pressing. Would just press and it forced them into the mistake. And the goal that you're on about, we did that. I think it was from the front.
Well, it was Longstaff kind of forced them out. What was out on the left touchline wasn't forced them, and then played the ball through for
Gale.
No, Jethro.
No, so it
down
goes
the
to Gale.
It goes to Gale and Gale chests it. Beautiful.
It goes to Gale because we've just looked at back there, and Gale's touch, he just chests it. He lets it just stroke of his chest. And he just does that, and it puts Longstaff straight through. Longstaff gets it, so Gale closes the ball down, which forces them to pass it to one of their players. One of their players tries to pass it, we intercept it.
Longstaff gets it.
Then Longstaff gets it, plays a Gale, chests it to Williams. Williams does his trademark thing where he just cuts in.
Yeah.
Then that player's broke both ankles. He's end up on his arse.
It's a fast way to get inside.
On his arse. Then obviously plays it through, Gale is fantastic the way
touch,
he lays that back.
his little
over.
touch, his back heel, and then that
his
little
first touch is meant to go for himself.
Yeah.
We have to remember that. He's
Yeah.
trying to... It's a bad touch, but the second one, to give it to Almiron, to have the awareness that fast...
It takes the two defenders away because there's two defenders going after Gale.
And the pace of the pass from Gale, Almiron doesn't have to break a stride.
Yeah.
He just runs onto it. Honestly, it's
He just
tremendous
passes it
from
in the top of the net, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Lovely,
It was
lovely,
absolutely brilliant.
good team goal.
Great finish as well. Great finish by
Brilliant
Almiron.
finish. Brilliant goal. Brilliant
Just strokes
team
it
goal.
in.
It was a really,
Out the
really
reach of the
good
keeper,
goal.
up high.
Roof of the
I'm
net,
being
wasn't it?
honest,
Yeah.
not to be too harsh, but you know, I've watched it about a few times, and that was a quick move, that right? It was,
Aye.
and I didn't think we were capable of being able to play football like that. You know, just sometimes it even shocks me. Like, but that was a great goal.
I think obviously we're shocked Wolves how fast we played that because it was like move like
It was
everything.
almost one, like not one touch, but
I know what you mean. Yeah,
It was
it was
like
triangles. That's what it was.
good
Exactly
stuff.
triangles. What most football teams.
Triangles in a straight line.
Well, if you look at the players, it goes like that.
We
It's
had three in the box technically because you had Gale obviously picked it up. Almiron's running, Joe was in there.
Joe was just behind
And I've
Almiron.
said for a long time about us, we don't get enough people in the box in attacking areas. In another instance, we did. If you think if Gale passes that ball to Almiron, he has to take a touch. He could have given it to Joe to shoot.
Yeah.
You know, there was options there,
Yeah.
so it was a great start of the game. We looked high tempo, we were pressing, we got a goal early, and then unfortunately we lost more injuries. I think Dummett.
That's a Dummett. It seemed to come for nothing with
He
Dummett
did
as
a
well.
long
Like
ball,
it was a
just
ball.
fell.
Yeah.
Just bang,
Yeah.
Well, he chased back, heading. I think the ball was going out for a goal kick, and he kind of half chased after it, and then he didn't pull up immediately. But you seen him almost like think, oh, something's not quite right there, and then just after that, that's when he then went to play a ball through, and he just sat down straight away.
It
and
looked
knew.
really bad at first because he was holding his leg for a long time. I actually thought
Holding
it was
his
stretch
knee,
out
wasn't
job.
he?
Yeah, his knee. Sorry, yeah, and then he walked off in the end, which is good. But it's worrying. Like, you know, what I mean, it's like I don't know. Would you say we've maybe rushed him back? I don't know the answer to that question. All I would say is that we must have done a fitness test on the lad, and if he's passed it, then he probably plays. You know, it's just,
Once again, we've got a couple of questions in regards
Yeah,
to
probably.
injuries and Russian players back and stuff like that, so we won't focus on that too much. But you know, as soon as he hits a deck, and we saw later on in the game, but we'll come on to that you know that it's an injury, and you know that he's not going to be able to play on. So
Well, he's not the type of player to go down easily.
nah.
Dummett, is he?
He's not like Hayden, where Hayden will spend half the time on his arse, then play on for the rest of the game.
yeah.
But obviously he goes off, then
Lejeune comes on.
yeah, so Lejeune
good
comes on.
replacement,
Yeah, so it's a fantastic replacement when you think about it.
On paper.
Yeah, but obviously there's a mix-up in defence. Let's be honest. So before we get into their goal, they have a penalty appeal
Well, it's literally just
just before.
before the goal.
Just before.
But that penalty appeal comes from Lejeune's just came onto the pitch and
That's what I mean. Defence
has
haven't
a bit
organised
of a swinger
themselves.
through it, doesn't he? And
Yeah,
it just
there's two huge problems with that one. As he's right in what you say, Lejeune has a swinger, a real swinger, which you would expect it just to get
Yeah.
it forward. He fucking slices it.
slice it.
Hayden then goes up for a header to try, and that ends off almost
back up,
setting
yeah.
them up. It was a terrible
Poor header, isn't it?
Oh, it's dreadful.
Weak.
It is dreadful. And then Clark obviously is trying to cover. I thought penalty all day long in real time. It took us 3 replays to realise it wasn't. So it wasn't. Exactly
In real time, I thought because the ball didn't move direction or anything like that, it just went straight on. I thought, oh, he's totally won the ball there. And it was like when it went to VAR, I was like, eh. And then when I seen the replay, I was like, oh.
Yeah. Well, it's a funny one because I was with Adam because Adam obviously messaged saying it's a joke because if in the time I'm watching the game and then when they showed you VAR, I thought that it was a penalty, right? Then when I seen it again, I thought, oh, actually, if they haven't given a penalty, which they didn't, it has to be a goal kick. I thought at first because
Right,
I
okay.
thought they'd play out,
Yeah.
get the ball out. So Adam was saying the same thing. I was furious that they give a corner. But then I've seen it again from a different angle, and Clark actually goes between
Clark
the lad's
goes
legs.
between
Yeah,
his
two
legs and
legs.
puts it
And
out.
pokes
Definitely.
it. But you know what it is, we've done 2 mistakes there. We've getting the corner. We need to be almost giving ourselves a shake going, right lads, we've fucking let ourselves down there. Let's sort it out now. And then it was such a soft goal, wasn't it? It was soft.
Really bad, really bad defending.
It's a well delivered corner though, isn't it? And it takes a little bit of a flick off the top of Lejeune, and it just falls perfectly for their player who's running in.
I think if Shelby had been marking the lad that you're not going to criticise by the sounds of it, you'd be gone off it. Fernandes is terrible.
no.
He's terrible on that goal.
He is. He's
got to
positioning-
be tighter too.
His positioning is shocking. So he's with him on the edge of the box. Like we've looked back over this, he's with him at the edge of the box. The ball starts coming in, and as soon as the ball starts going towards, obviously before it gets a flick on, Fernandez just starts moving towards our ball. Obviously that leaves goal scorer just there to basically
It just seems to be like
glance in.
flat-footed.
Yeah.
It's as if to me that he thinks the people in front are going to win the header, so he doesn't have to react. And then by the time they
Which,
don't,
to be
that
fair,
lad's in front of him.
it did look like. And
Yeah,
then,
I'm not disagreeing with that.
and I think that's the thing. It just comes through that crowd, and like the lad doesn't even like. It kind of just arrives at him and almost.
I just think
hits
in
his
football,
leg.
someone
puts
as
it in.
wise as him, you can't surmise someone's going to win that header or someone's going to get that tackle. I just don't think at that level you can think like that. You've just got to think that ball's coming for me and I've got to get it. If he wins the header, then great, fair enough, that's fine. You know what I mean? You can't just stand there and go, sorry, he'll have it.
I don't.
I'm not saying he thought that, but it's a
It's
poor defence.
it's not coming in as a header for him to win though. That's the only thing. Obviously, the height of it that it's coming in.
Yeah,
It's
but
down to. For me, he needs to be closer into and putting a bit of pressure on
The
him.
lad scored with his leg or his foot.
Yeah.
Fernandez could have cleared it with his foot. By the time it gets there,
He's in front of him as well.
Yeah,
It's a bit too far.
It's
in
not
front
like
of him.
he's not trying to go and win the ball.
No,
He needs to
absolutely
like
not.
block
No, I agree.
their
Of course he does,
their
of course he
player
does.
is probably my criticism of him.
It was a soft goal, and considering the start one had it was their first real attack, you know what I mean, and then they scored from it, so it was disappointing. Personally, at that stage of the game, I thought there was a hell of a lot more goals in the game. There wasn't,
Yeah.
but I thought there was. I really did. I thought there was because I thought Gale. Well, unfortunately, probably the next part will come to was he
Yeah,
got
yeah,
injured.
so Gale's
and
injury,
I thought
yeah.
Gale looked great up front, and the
was
reason
full of
for
life,
that,
wasn't he?
full of life, running into the channels. And again, what I said about the Rochdale game was the thing Mutu gives her. Mutu gives her that little bit of pressing, that little bit of movement that makes it easier for a midfielders to find the pass.
I think the thing with Gale was obviously he was playing against Wolves, and the Wolves fans were giving him a load of stick, obviously because he'd been at West Brom like all last season. So they were just constantly singing about like all game. If you listen to their songs, they were giving him a load of crap.
Imagine being that sad to sing about Dwight Gale
It was on
in
loan
a bad way.
to the rivals.
I wouldn't even.
So I think that's only why he was like trying extra hard to like.
The Wolves West
Rub it-
Brom,
rub it
like
up.
rivalries up there. But
I suppose we-
But when you think about it, the West Brom were in the Championship last season. Wolves were in the Premier League. So why
makes
would you
no
start
sense.
slagging a player off who really didn't have an impact on anything your club did?
Yeah, we booed the odd Sunderland player, but I wouldn't say that we're giving them shit unless it was Adam Johnson or
Pickford.
a Gardner or Pickford, like or Cattermole. Like if I'm trying to think of they're all shite.
Burnley's right back.
But he's a prick though. He is a prick. Deserves everything in. But we still don't sing about him though, do we? We don't sing about. We'll boo if he touches the ball, but we're not going like Bargy or Wanker or something. Do you know what I mean? We're just singing about Robbie Savage. But anyway, sorry. Yeah. So then Durant went off. Sorry, apologise. Gale went off. Looked like a hammy to me.
So as soon as Gale goes down, he looks over and he you know for fine well he's keep off.
The thing is with
It's awful, isn't it?
Gale, how many times has Gale had a dodgy hamstring?
Yeah. Well, wasn't it in the summer where I think he had an ankle injury or a calf injury? They didn't know what was the matter with him. They kept saying, well, I don't know what.
Was
it
this
is.
season, wasn't it? Was
Yeah, it was
it
this
the
season.
season of this season?
So you think he's clear? Looks like that's clean clear. Then he's got another injury.
Because that's what they're talking. Is it psychological with him and stuff like that?
Who was that player that had that always said it was a psychological injury? Who was it? It was recently. Not one of our players.
Yeah, Sturridge.
Sturridge.
Oh,
yeah,
Christ.
Sturridge.
Oh,
yeah.
well, yeah.
Saying that he's his own worst enemy because he's fit, but he's scared in case.
He hasn't played at all, has he? This.
Who's he play for now?
I don't even know where he went.
Where did he end up going on?
Did he go
on
to
loan?
where? Turkey. I wasn't sure if you said Turkey or Torquay.
Yeah, in America. I think he had some stage, didn't he not? He got his helicopter brought in with that. Or was that just he was in the
Oh, he was just on holiday and he got his dog pinched.
Oh, right.
He got his dog pinched.
Yeah. Found it there again.
What? Where have you been? He got his dog pinched and he put an award on
Twitter? Or Instagram? or something?
Instagram, I think it was. So he offered like a cash reward for someone to return his little cockapoo or whatever it was. It's like a tiny little like a bichon frise or something.
Strange world. Strange world.
What was this?
So the obviously New Year's on holiday there. They went in, smashed it was the back window that they smashed because he like had a video. It's glass everywhere.
Yeah.
The only thing which the nick was the dog, I think.
Dog. Emotional connection, isn't it? Blackmail. That's what it would have been about.
You would think they'd have a
Ransom.
inch though, wouldn't you? Like surely
No,
he's got
but it's
good
still
stuff in his house.
Like a ransom,
innit?
wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, they got paid by the sounds of it. So
Yeah.
Imagine if somebody brought in your house and stole your James Bond DVD collection.
I'll have to spend 50 quid and buy some news. Wouldn't be great. Pinch me bear, I'm in trouble. Like.
People steal your wedding ring as well.
Well,
At the minute.
you're only going to see your kid at weekends now. aren't you?
Amazing. Amazing.
Go on, Monday
Right.
to Friday's going to be nice.
So yeah, Gale goes off. Then we see the arrival of Christian Atsu.
Oh my. days on it.
Best Wolves player. The best Wolves player on the pitch.
So you sent a message saying what is happening at R2? He is the best player for Wolverhampton at the moment.
He just, I don't know.
What was
couldn't get into the game, could he?
Just,
Every time he got it, he lost it. He almost... There was times he was running to like 3 or 4 players. Literally ran into the players. I'm going to just fast forward 2 seconds. There was a bit in the second half where we're doing a really good break. Carroll got it, sprayed it out wide R2, and he tried to control it, went for a throw-in. Honestly, I've
really
never
wasn't
seen
his day, like,
it
was
wasn't. Every cross just went out of play out to the goalkeeper. Really bad. Like, really bad.
It was.
It was like he was hungover or something. I don't know.
I don't know.
Really bad.
Because, like, you know, we sat here last week or the week before and said, you know, he had a good start to the season and
Used
stuff
it.
like that, but he's just...
Slade.
No, he did have a good start to the season.
I think he did well against Tottenham for the assist. And
I think he's had a bang average start of the season at best. At best.
The trouble you've got is I mean, mind you, he looked like fucking Maradona against first half against Rochdale.
Did I?
That's probably his level. But this is where we have to realise, you know, what we are and who we are and the squad we've got. That, you know, this is the only option we've got left to try and bring on. You know, and it's a poor option. It's a poor option, and I think we'll have to realise that this is why we aren't very good because we're squad's.
But he's another one that doesn't have a run of games in him to you know, get his touch.
So
and
what do you truthfully though?
If that was Jacob Murphy coming on, we would be going to town on him right now. Going to town on him.
Just
Seen he
remember,
scored
did
he
you
tagged his-
see
yeah,
his
tagged,
tag in his thing?
Yeah, I see that.
We would be though, wouldn't we? If he came on, had that performance, we'd be tearing him a new arsehole.
Yeah, well, that's the reason why I told him, because he seemed to play like that every week. Every time I see, especially at home. God, he was bad when he used to come on at home. But obviously, seeing the run of games, I don't know. Could you, if you give Ratsu a run of 10 games?
But like,
I
that's what
don't
I'm saying.
really
You
think
go back
that-
to start the season when he had a few games. He played
Then
well.
Then Saint come on and you realise, bloody hell, we've been dealing with
So do you reckon that's
for
why
the-
Atsu's trying to grow his hair like Saint?
Well, he goes through the phases, doesn't he, of having it long and short and stuff like that.
What I will say, to try and give Atsu some credit is that, you know, he has got something about him. Like, you know, he's normally quite good on the ball. He's pretty quick.
Well, you don't get signed by Chelsea if you're crap.
You get signed by us if you are. And unfortunately, that sub appearance was terrible.
The sign
He
Kennedy.
was shocking, like, wasn't he?
He really was. It was like
But
what
Kennedy,
Ben I thought.
that 6
Yeah.
months.
Yeah. Do you know what I meant
He
to
looked
say
a
this as
world
well?
beater,
Can
didn't
you
he?
imagine, right, hypothetically here? Oh, no, I'm not going to say it.
No,
Sorry.
go on.
No, I
Hypothetically.
shouldn't say it. No.
Say it.
Continue.
Say it. Say it. Let's get Deka in
Gonna get
trouble.
on here. So, can you imagine, let's
His
say
family's going to disown him as well as his wife
Steve
now.
Bruce brought in Kennedy, right?
Right, okay.
Well, I'll say 2 analogies. So Steve Bruce brings in Kennedy. Well, the first season that was seen, second season starts. Who gets the blame?
Bruce.
Can you imagine if Rafa came in and brought Kennedy in, which he did? Kennedy had the season he had when he had to break the bank, buy him, spend everything we've got on him. Then Bruce took over and Kennedy had the season Kennedy had.
Bruce.
As well.
My God.
Blame.
Can you imagine?
I mean, the whole Pardew thing, wasn't it? Like, where Pardew
Did
used to make players go
anyone,
shit.
did anybody say Rafa was past mismanaging or anything at all like that? Or was it just Kennedy was shit?
I think it was just Kennedy was shit.
I thought so.
He did look shit, though, didn't he?
He was terrible.
He was terrible. He was
But
really
the
bad.
point I'm trying to make though is that because it was Rafa, everyone just blamed
Oh.
Kennedy. If it had been any other manager in the world, it would have been the manager's fault. They're not getting
By
the
all
best
means, we're not saying it was Rafa's fault.
I'm
Kennedy was
not
bad, but saying Kennedy was bad.
I think Kennedy was shit, and I'm not saying it was Rafa's fault at all. The point I'm trying to make is that it's a funny one, isn't it? How it's all of a sudden.
And we can't
Kennedy's
blame
fault.
one person.
Yes.
Not, yeah.
Well,
The
there was
same scenario would have been Bruce's fault. That.
There was some great threads over yesterday by, I don't know if you see it, by Oliver Tweets, where he like basically put out to say something along the lines of like Steve Bruce's
why not?
Newcastle's gone and got a well fought point down there, and that had it have been Rafa that had went down there, it would have been like a master tactician, master stroke kind of thing. And there was loads of people replying, and there was some very good threads around it, like different opinions and stuff like that, and talking about that very sort of thing, is that, you know, the things that Rafa would say and do, the reactions that he would get, he would get them because he was Rafa. Whereas when Bruce does say things the same, then it's down to luck.
It's ridiculous.
So
We got a point in that
good
game,
stuff in
right,
it.
where we're captains out. I still believe our best creative midfielder wasn't playing, Shelby. Still believe that. And our most attacking threat, Saint, wasn't on either.
And you get 2 injuries in the first half.
And you get
That I'm telling you now.
Which
That
is Bruce's fault.
I'm well aware.
And you've got your centre midfielder playing that right wing back.
Yes, and you get a
It
point.
was a strange formation
Well, to be
because
fair,
he was
he's a bit-
forced to play
Well,
it.
can you imagine?
Isaac
going back
Hayden's
to
a
what
bit like
you were
James
saying,
Perch like that, though, isn't he? Where
No,
he
is
can
he?
play across a number of positions.
Is he though?
The one thing I would say about Hayden, that
I believe I've just compared Isaac Hayden to James Perch.
that's not a million miles on. He tackles. Would you say I don't think there's that much different than me? Like, honestly, I don't. I don't see much difference in them. But anyway, so flip it again then. Flip it again. So right, Rafa has to deal with the team we've got, and that's the story. So we've got Hayden right back, fucking hell, and we're going to point the way it was. I honestly think people would want him a statue built. They'd be like, wow, Rafa's tactical genius. He's managed to play Hayden right back. GEORDIE hasn't scored. Whatever. We're getting a point away from home with that team. God, it's because of his genius of tactical ability. We're getting a point now. Bruce doesn't really seem to matter. Anyone seems to care. I just find
lucky. Dubravka won with the game.
Dubravka won with the game. Yeah, I've heard that.
Which,
quite
to
a
be
bit.
fair,
Which he did.
But he did every week last year as well. He did every week the time before.
He didn't last time with Big Wolves
Well,
last
no,
season.
yeah, but we drew 1-1 though, and it was the same. We were here.
We was like, yeah, right there, mate.
We got battered for an hour,
Right.
and it was a fucking flimsy little horror. Should have been a free kick. Well, now the story. But do you know what I mean? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I'm sorry we're going.
Bowley. Was it Bowley?
Bowley, aye.
Was that one? He
Yeah.
fucking done Perez on the home game.
Yeah, he did,
We
aye.
got
Yeah.
beat, didn't we? He
Did,
done terrible that was. But
But
anyway,
aye.
yes. So that's it. Really. When we got the second half was
Second half was
Well,
pretty good.
before we
Sorry.
got to the second half, is Dubravka speaking about him.
His first half though, that save.
That's
I thought the first half one was better than
unreal.
the second.
Yeah.
What a save.
First off, the one for his foot.
His
When-
foot, his
Yeah.
left
Williams
foot.
His left
literally-
foot. So Williams gets torn a new arsehole.
It's
But by nothing though in the first
Yeah.
half. The guy Torres
Walked
does
past
nothing.
him.
He just walks past him.
But it's a lovely ball in from Traore. Like
It might be.
It
but
is,
You've got to
but
stop him
it's
from doing that. Man.
He does just walk past Williams.
I've watched it. We watched it just
the
there.
thing
I was
is, like,
what's
he's,
he doing?
it's Willem's first game back as well after.
Is it?
bit
No, he
injury.
played the other day, didn't he?
The other day, didn't he play the other day?
Rochdale.
No,
No, he didn't have to.
The last Premier League game, didn't he? Did he not play the last Premier League
Aye,
game?
but that was like he just.
Actually, he
just
got come off
back from
injured then
injury,
as well.
didn't
Like he went off injured that game, didn't he?
I
Yeah,
mean,
he
so
did.
he's
Yeah.
probably not.
But on that chance,
right.
you need to watch it back. He literally opens the door for him.
I
He
know,
holds
aye.
the door, goes out, son, get you in there. But the save from the
It's like a
back.
flight attendant just going like that towards the goal.
It's mental, like.
But
Your
it's
exit's
a
on here.
fantastic,
Yeah.
fantastic ball in like over there,
great
and then
ball.
comes to Jimenez, who
Has to score.
I
That's a score.
don't know how he doesn't.
Yeah, he's got a score.
I mean, that is a brilliant. He just makes himself big. It's a bit like a Schmeichel save.
Yeah.
Back in the
Yeah,
day,
it
you know,
was,
like when he
yeah.
used to just spread himself
Yeah.
and he used to come off his leg and stuff like that.
And then
but
the second half, there was two incidents right after half time.
Was Longstaff's the second
Yeah,
half?
Hayden apologise. Williams again gets ripped apart
Yeah.
literally ripped, and then he puts a ball in. Hayden does a whatever he tried to do, clear it, and then
Longstaff clears one off the line.
yeah,
Yeah,
which was
yeah.
close. And then you had Dubravka save towards the end.
that was from the header, wasn't it?
Was a hell of a cross. The guy's crossed it from almost the halfway line. He
Yeah.
just bent it in. Fernandez again doesn't react, just stops.
Just stops.
Lets the ball bounce in the 6-yard box. He gets a head on Dubravka again, does a great save. So no doubt, I appreciate totally that we relied on Dubravka. But let's be fair. Before you went away to that game, you know our goalkeeper, whether it's fucking Darlow, you know he has to have a good game, otherwise we're not going to get out of that game.
Oh, he's getting absolutely pebble dashed with shots, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Well,
We didn't really create
when
much
you,
the second
you,
half.
you look, because there was some interesting stats around, like with the Wolves, of that they've scored the most set pieces,
Really?
like in the entire league. So I think it was 11 or something like that.
Yeah.
So like obviously the goal that scored from the corner, they were flying those free kicks in, and every time that they got them, putting them into the box and stuff like that. So
The-
They
it's,
were going to the deck every single
Yeah.
time.
but that's
they got
why
touched.
so that they could
Yeah.
get
Oh, that was
get
so
free kicks and
frustrating,
get it
man.
in.
That's-
And the Wolves fans were getting on the referees back, and I was like, every single time they got on the deck, of course the referee's not going to blow because it's pathetic.
Well, that
at
was the thing.
times.
Like
That's
all
a
the
tactic from them,
Wolves,
though, isn't
all the Wolves supporters were complaining about
That's
the
what I
referee
mean.
and stuff like that. I mean, I didn't have a great game, but
We're the
some
same.
of the
We're
things
the same.
that they were
Every-
appealing for was
They're
ridiculous.
fucking shit fans now, though. They're always, every time I see them, they're always hard done by, and they're always this and that. But their gaffer tells them to go down because
Of course, he does.
they did it. Good
It's
free
their-
kicks.
it's
They've got
their
good
way.
delivery, got good delivery from free kicks.
You know,
That isn't it?
it's like Portuguese, like spine of the team and all that.
Yeah.
Like it's the way that they play over there. It's like very, go to ground easily, win free kicks and stuff like that. So it's.
I thought the ref did give a few strange ones. It was actually, do you know, texts about that. It felt to me whether he was 2 feet away or 100 miles away, if someone hit the deck, it was a foul. It just seemed constantly
Yeah.
it was a foul. There was never
There's
like
always break up and play.
yeah all
Always.
the time. And I think maybe to be
Wasn't just
fair,
letting-
sometimes
letting
that might suit us. Sometimes
flow, was it?
But, and one thing I was going to say as well is the one thing you cannot question with the team and the squad is that the commitment and the desire for the shirt and like they've had a bad run of games. They couldn't beat Rochdale the other week. You know, I'm being honest here. I watched Bournemouth yesterday. I watched all the football yesterday on the telly. Bournemouth were absolutely shocking.
Single life in it.
Jesus, yeah. They were shocking. Watford beat them 3-0 at home, and I thought, you know, I know we're bad at times, right, but our lads seem to stick together more, and we've had a bad run of form, but yesterday, every single one of them, Saturday, really, really played for the shirt, and they were fucking diving in, and, you know, as I said earlier on, it was 1-1, and I thought there's more goals than this.
Well, I think
There wasn't, you know
the
what I mean?
epitome of that for me was Miggy. Particularly
mate, he's
the
fantastic.
one where he just sprints back and nicks it off Terroria's feet. That,
It's funny, he does that all the time,
Yeah.
because it was Jory, it gets highlighted more.
So they
you
put
know.
the stats on, didn't they, at the end of the game,
Yeah.
where it was
Compared the two
Almiron
of
v Traore, and Almiron had an
and
absolute
shoulders.
blinding game.
Yeah.
He was tremendous. He wasn't wasteful in possession, I think, at all. Like in the whole game. You know what I love about him as well? There's times where he gets the ball in an area where you think, actually, there's not really much on for you, but he'll just get his head down and just
He'll
run.
just take you up the
run.
pitch.
He just
Just
runs,
gets you up the
doesn't he?
pitch,
And,
doesn't
like, his energy levels are incredible, but he wasn't wasteful from what I remember. Hardly ever like. He
This is what
felt
we've
the
said
shit.
all the time.
It's confidence,
He's
though,
been
innit?
sat.
Confidence.
He's sat there. He's grafted his arse off from since the day he joined. No one can ever say he hasn't tried because he has. Then you get the arsehole pundits like Danny Mills, like sitting there saying, "Oh, he's in the worst signs of X amount
Well,
of
Danny-
years." But how are you? Like, it's because you're looking at the stats of goals and assists. And of course, he is going to be judged by that. But looking at his individual game,
Yeah.
it's been fantastic. And obviously now we're seeing the benefits. Now he's got a bit of confidence. He's scored 3 goals in the last how many games? 4, 5. And look how well he's playing.
He's playing tremendous, like he really is. And I appreciate, you know, I think he played tremendous actually against Wolves, to be honest. And you can't always expect that performance from him. But I still honestly think if we can get Saint back fully fit, that'll create even more
Yeah.
space and stuff for Almiron. Because at the minute,
Well, the pair of them.
we're kind of a little bit of a. There is only, in my opinion, there's only him that excites us at all. The rest are all just very safe. He's the only player I think that's got that little something, you know.
Yeah.
And I think we're desperate for Saint to come back. Any team would be desperate for him to come back, but I think we really are desperate, like for him, you know, just to help. You know.
And have any of you watched the interview with Miggy on Newcastle
Yeah,
TV?
yeah,
I haven't watched it. I've just seen some like
It's great,
words of it. Yeah.
absolutely great. He goes on. I think it's with Dan King. I think he's getting interviewed by. So if you haven't seen that, go on the club website. But
Did he
he's
speak English?
no, he's translated. Translated.
I didn't know if he.
It's got subtitles,
It's
though.
subtitles on the bottom. But he goes on and basically says that he never let the fact that he hadn't scored like get on top of him. He always like just kept on trying and knew it would come.
Even like it's almost as if he isn't even bothered that he scored.
Yeah.
He's like very blasé about it.
I
It's
think
just,
that's one thing we've all said.
I'm not
that,
bothered.
With him is that he still always got in the areas. He was never afraid to.
Yeah.
To
He
run
never went
forward
hiding.
and the
No,
big
I-
thing for me is he always did it with a smile on his face.
Yeah. I absolutely love that guy. To be honest.
Always smiling faces. And on that note, let's finish this one. We've been going a little while, so once
Yeah,
again,
sure, yeah.
thanks for watching, thanks for listening, everybody. Thanks to Guillermo. I said it wrong that time. Thanks to Guillermo Clothing, Geordie Gifts for sponsoring the podcast, and that's it.
Happy New Year.
See you later.
Happy New Year.
2 weeks to do.